Welcome back to Freightwaves Now. I'm Michael Vincent. Sorry about that. I'm just in awe because we got Kaylee Nixon. She's calling in from beautiful, sunny Orlando. At least I think it is. What are you doing down in Orlando, Florida there, Kaylee?
Hey guys, good morning. I'm not enjoying the sunshine. It's actually freezing in this conference hall right now. But hopefully I'll get the chance to step out there a little bit today and maybe get some sun a little bit. But I'm down here at the AUVSI XPONENTIal Conference, which is the Association for Uncrewed Vehicle Systems International. And this is one of the biggest meetings for uncrewed vehicle systems basically in the country and the world as well. It's 5 days. I'm here for 2 of those 5. And yesterday I got the chance to participate in one of their satellite events, which is the Automated Goods Movement Summit. So it's something that we're obviously really interested in here at Freightwaves. And I actually got to moderate 2 panels yesterday, which was super exciting.
So talk about the panel. What was the panel about?
So both panels, we had it split into 2 parts, and the panels were titled, "What does the commercialization of autonomous vehicles look like?" And both of them were very heavily focused on autonomous trucking. So we had representatives from Too Simple, we had representatives from UPS, from Plus AI. Lori Hayner-Royer was there, who we spoke to last week on Freightwaves Now. We had folks from Spartan Radar, from Velodyne LiDAR. Michael Summits, who is the president of CDQ America Trucking, was there representing the small businesses side of things. So it was really, really interesting. And that first panel, we focused more on safety and more on like what fleet deployment looks like. The second panel, we focused more on what the actual tech stack looks like, building out your ADS system from the ground up, what different approaches look like depending on different levels of autonomy, and really just kind of how groups of all sizes can capitalize on autonomous vehicles, regardless of what your pricing structure looks like, your budget looks like, et cetera.
Really interested when we talk about LiDAR. I think that's such a cool technology and it underpins a lot of the systems. Was there anything interesting from the LiDAR folks? Is that something that is very common for safety features, or are there any other competing technologies?
So the really interesting thing about both having the radar and the LiDAR folks there was that there's a little bit of tension between the two, right? Because radar is pretty new when it comes to being part of that ADS stack on an autonomous vehicle. But LiDAR is something that's been there for a while, within kind of that original iteration and integration of what an autonomous vehicle system is going to look like. So, and for those who don't know, LiDAR is a remote sensing system that uses different waves of light to detect objects. Radar is radio detecting and ranging, so it uses radio waves to detect different objects. And a lot of different, like the beginning levels of autonomy will focus on a combination of camera sensors and...
Ooh, we've lost her audio there.
Uh-oh.
It's interesting stuff because I understand exactly what you're saying. The LiDAR technology is really tremendous. And when you talk about the different things there, when they've used the LiDAR and the radar together, she's back. But when they use them together, you can see like a mile ahead of what is going on. And some of that, which is far better than just a human driving a truck, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And totally my bad. Someone just called me in the middle of this interview, so I had to ignore that really fast. But like I was saying, so the thing with the differences between radar and LiDAR is that you're building them up for what are called redundancies. Because when you're a human in the truck, obviously
You've got your left eye and your right eye. That's your redundancy as a human in the truck.
Oh, yeah.
And in your ears.
And especially with the new applications and the systems, I think, it's cool. They actually have them in parts of Sweden, Norway, Finland, those Nordic countries. They have LiDAR-equipped speed bumps, so you can figure out your tire tread depth as you hit the speed bump, and the LiDAR activation will actually do for tread wear. That was my crazy idea for an MBA project, was put a little LiDAR thing in a box and see your tread wear, but someone already did it.
That's probably one of your more sane ideas, I would think.
It was. But I love it.
So the LiDAR comes into effect. The LiDAR and the radar together are what you need for rain situations,
right? Yeah, because weather conditions, you're seeing these objects coming towards it, like having a LiDAR radar combination is super, super helpful just in order to be able to see, like you said, you got a lot of dust, you got a wind, you having the wombo combo, so to speak, gives you that forward range. And for a lot of these autonomous systems, it really is binary code of please don't hit this, how long do I have until I hit this, make sure I don't hit this.
That's exactly right. And understanding exactly what that is is important too, because is it a moving object, a potentially moving object? Isn't it a potentially moving object is incredibly important, right? When you're looking forward with an autonomous vehicle and it sees an object there, it needs to know, is this thing going to react to what I'm doing, or is it stationary?
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And you don't want false negatives or anything else. Could be a small mammal up to a large deer or a car. And you want to make sure that your systems and your AI and stuff can recognize the difference between those things, because adjusting for a squirrel versus another, 20-ton vehicle or something like that,
Different situation.
You're going to have different strategies to cope with this.
Different